Colossians take great pride in their planet's mining industry. Through sweat of brow, valiant colonists dig up the precious minerals the Federation needs. It's an ore effort for the war effort, and they're not going to let a few bugs scare them off. The mobile infantry has begun escorting workers, many of them patriotic volunteers, back into the mines so they can keep excavating the future of humanity.
Welcome to Mineville, Lieutenant. Bugs made a mess of the Qual's attempts to defend this base. We're here to do a better job of it. The Flyboys report some serious bug activity out to the east. Our mission is to get these miners back into their holes, not to go play in the dust with Archie. We'll ice them as soon as they come at the walls. Organize your defenses and call down some extra bodies. Keep those bugs outside the walls, Lieutenant.
Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to the third and final mission that we were able to play in the demo for Starship Troopers. I always think it's space. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This third mission is definitely no tutorial. It is far harder than the missions that we've seen so far. Missions 1 and 2 seem to be hand-holding, mostly. Just explaining what the mechanics are, what the units do, how to best use their abilities. But this one is far different. We now get the entirety of the map to play with, and on top of that, you get to do quite a few different objectives. Now, as you might imagine, I'm doing the commentary post, because I did not have time to do a commentary while I was playing. So, the gameplay that you see is with me doing post-commentary, which means you're not really going to get the normal reactions. I know some people don't like this, but I'm experimenting with the content, and this was just an easier way of getting this thing done. Now, we start out with this base that seemingly has seen better days. You can see that the walls have taken a big hit. I have 2 breaches, and, well, I just have to hope that my troopers can hold off these warriors, or, well, arachnids and whatever other insects we come across, before they hit these walls and climb over them.
We're sending the first group of miners into Shaft 1.
Secure my ass. This place has more bugs than the Shreveport picnic in July.
Command believes the risk is acceptable. Mining operations have been delayed long enough.
We need more time. Damn it!
There's been an incident at the mine.
Oh, was it bugs? The bugs I said that were definitely down there?
We have reports of some casualties among the miners.
Some casualties? It'll take hours to sort out which bits go in which coffin.
We expected attacks. That's why you're there. Clear the site of bugs. Try to minimize disruption to the mining operation.
And protect the miners.
Of course, that too.
At least you got our priorities straight. The objective of the whole mission is to clear out all the mining sites. This is a big mining operation, and the bugs have infested the mine shafts, meaning we cannot get any profits from the mines. We cannot excavate the future of humanity, as they so nicely put it. Which means it's our job to clear these boys out and make sure that the miners can work there without being eaten. Small grenade at him. Decent. The other group also have a grenade. I still haven't really found the benefit to using the smaller grenade bundles, because it seems that they're very micro-heavy. The grenade bundle, I think that's the boom bundle is the official term, is the official, is an ability that these guys have. I don't really see the benefit of it. It's supposedly very destructive at short range, but since they have short fuses, you don't really have a lot of time to work against your own mines, against your own grenades. You have to throw them and immediately run away at extremely short range, as opposed to the grenades that you can normally throw. So my micro in this game is still not ideal. There we go. New group of miners. Mine shaft's clear.
The mine is operational.
Done.
Command appreciates your efforts.
All right. That mining shaft is operational again. There's 3 others around here that Command wants up and running, ASAP.
Now, how you go about that is entirely up to you.
Reports that there are Qualcomm bases nearby used to provide logistical support to the mines.
Command is collecting eager volunteers to operate those mines. But those bases are needed for dropship insertion.
You heard the officer. Get a scouting party together and start getting those bases back online.
Just how you go about this mission is entirely up to you. You can go clockwise, you can go counterclockwise, but keep in mind that as you're moving your troops west, there will be the occasional raid coming from the east. So I decided that my first unit should be an engineer, and the engineers will be deploying a couple of turrets for me, so that hopefully I can shore up some of the troops and go on the offensive towards the west. Because there is one bug hive that needs to get cleared out, and when that is done, it'll stop spawning stuff. That hopefully will allow me to start pushing north, and clear out the mine shaft there. And I think every 5, 6, 7 minutes or so, you get a warning saying, hey, you're about to get attacked. So, time to move my troops all the way back, because as it happens, I'm still in the process of throwing my turrets up, and I don't really have that many troops available. There we go, 1 turret's online. The turrets I found have a very short range, unfortunately.
Protect the miners.
Oh,
So where to put it?
Command has a heart after all.
Over there, in the open, just covering that gap in the walls.
If the mines become understaffed.
Sounds about right. Let's go save us some diggers.
What I liked about this mission is how it keeps you on your toes. Because the one moment you're pushing on the left side of the map, and then you're drawn back all the way to the right side of the map to try and get there before they overrun your base. Now over there, on the west, I had a rifle squad, but it got completely overrun by another group of warriors. So I just lost them, and their veterancy, or at least whatever experience they had built up. So unfortunately, I get to start over again with their veterancy.
Poor bastards.
And to make matters more interesting, to the northwest, I have another mining shaft. And that mining shaft is not really waiting to be cleared. Command is dropping miners there anyway.
Slight delay on the next shuttle. The locals need a little more encouragement to get on board.
Yeah, their
Maybe
encouragement
they'll
might
give
have
us
to do with the
enough time
fact
to
that
kill
they
the
just
bugs,
got
you
killed
know,
off.
before they attack.
Our eager volunteers. Alright, next to the engineer squad. Flamethrowers, always handy to deal with the bugs. Alright, let's do this again. Try and take this outpost again. Decapping it always goes fast. Getting your own flag up, a little bit less so. And now I can move up towards that base. The reason why I'm pushing for that base is because I have a secondary objective that says clear the next mining shaft before 15 miners die. And that mining shuttle is going to arrive, well, now.
Another shuttle's coming in. Those
Which
workers
is
are bound
not
for
great
second
for
mine
the
shaft.
general health of those miners.
We'll try to keep this group in better shape than the last one.
I'm trying to use Overwatch here to try and get my guys together. Let's call in some reinforcements there. Unfortunately, that mining shaft is not empty. And thus the miners get killed off again. Command was once again a bit too eager with sending in new volunteers. Lob another grenade at him. Let's try and call some reinforcements in. I'm constantly trying to get reinforcements for the squads that I have to sort of sortie them in and out of the conflict. And hopefully provide enough firepower to deal with the bugs before they get a chance to spawn a new wave. Engineers doing good work, and there comes the next mining shuttle. The mining shaft has been cleared, so this one doesn't spawn anymore, but that bug lair does.
The mine is operational. Command appreciates your efforts.
Now with this,
whole
I also gain more
operation's
war
rushed.
support,
With
so I
more
can
time,
start calling in
we could have done
additional
this with
units.
fewer non-commie casualties.
But,
Command
as I'm clearing
believes
that mining
sending
shaft,
miners in would provoke a response
guys
and
over there on the
help us
west
find
keep
the bugs
spawning.
faster. As
and
you
once
can
again they
see,
keep trying to
their
reset that
strategic
radio
analysis
station.
was correct.
So the first wave of miners were sacrificial lambs? Those cold-blooded bastards.
Alright, let's get this this bug lair done. Because I got enough stuff spawning around me as is. Let's capture that thing, and then once again, reinforce. And in the meanwhile, the guys over here can start scouting out. Hopefully, it's enough firepower. But these warriors, they are tough guys. So, one squad is barely capable of dealing with warriors. And this is at regular difficulty. I also tried this mission at a higher difficulty, and it was even more impossible. Just squads kept dying left, right, and center, and you really need a coordinated effort to try and get rid of these bugs. Alright, there we go. In the meanwhile, of course, the base is still under attack. The heavy machine gun up on the walls is doing great work, and the engineers are holding down that side. But there is no shortage of these guys, and they will keep coming at me. So, not only is the amount of troops divided, but my attention is also divided. Let's call in some snipers here to try and deal with spitters if and when they arise. And get another troop going. And there we go, they're already opening up. One rifle squad up on the high ground. Engineers to deal with the front line, and the other troops to deal with the sides. And you can see that just a big wave spawned here, but thankfully they carry grenades, these rifle troops, and they're doing fantastic work with them. And there's the spitter. Close to the bug hive, there's a spitter. Snipers were way out of position, so the engineers are taking an absolute kicking from those spitters without being able to do anything in return. Thankfully I'm close to that radio beacon, because without that I would not be able to keep these guys supplied as quickly as I can. Pull another sniper. Snipers are fantastic against the spitters, as we've seen in the previous mission. You really need them to get rid of the spitters early. If you don't, the spitters will, if you don't pay attention to your troops, just pick you apart. Now the the bug hive is clear, so I can immediately wipe it out. And I can also capture some of the supplies down there. Back to base, and we got another one trying to climb the walls, and the turret has been destroyed. So I need to build another one. Okay, the warrior died. Let's throw another turret up. The turret over there is functional, so that's good. The bug hole has been cleared, and the supplies have been captured. This is now allowing me my troops to start moving up over there, where there are more supplies. So I'm doing a sort of clockwise sweep through the map. Alright, with the engineers resupplied, the troops ready, and hopefully the snipers in a good position, I can start prepping for another offensive.
Some radio operators to help out.
But as you move into the mountains, you're going to start finding that you just don't really get any radio supplies or any radio stations. So you can make a mobile resupply point. And that is the drop zone. That's the radio operator. These guys are very valuable because they can call down a dropship wherever you need it and reinforce your troops. Now keep in mind they can reinforce, they cannot call in new troops. So it's not like you call in a spawn zone like that. You can resupply, you can just regroup, but you cannot call in a new group. So it is critical that you simply keep them alive and not lose an entire squad. Because if you lose an entire squad, you're going to have to call it back in from a radio station. With the increased war support, I can finally get a few more turrets online. So I deployed one outside the wall, and I'm keeping one in reserve. Maybe I can still use that in a different position. Another mine shaft, unfortunately with a bit of a narrow way to get there. And And there we go. I'm standing right next to a bug hive. This thing needs to go. So we're going to lob an incendiary grenade. The snipers are on a decent position, but some of the rifle troops are not. And the engineers are once again getting hit by the spitters. So time to deploy a drop zone. And that's going to allow my troops to get resupplies. Or sorry, reinforcements. But currently nobody needs it yet. The rate at which I'm going through my troops though, it won't take too long. And yep, there we go, there's another squad. More warriors. And more spitters, great. Snipers are now out of position and cannot fire at the spitters. And the spitters are just merrily chewing through all the troopers that I have without me being able to do that much about it. So, pulling the rifle troops back, which leaves my snipers dangerously exposed. I should have another rifle troop here. Snipers need reinforcements. The warriors need to go, and the bug hive is now empty. So time to push in and get rid of that spawn point of theirs. But first reinforcements, and there's still a spitter around. Time to position the snipers elsewhere and try to have them do a bit more work. There we go. That one's clear. Time to move up. Now these things are not strictly mission objectives. They are not required for you to win the mission, but they will get very annoying very quickly if you don't take them out. So let's capture these supplies, which is a secondary objective. And at this point I wasn't quite sure where to go. Do I go east or do I go north? Decided to go east and see what I could find over there. Because there is a mining shaft on both ends. Now this is a terrible move here. I moved the snipers up as first groups. The snipers are support units, nothing else. They're fantastic shooters, but they cannot tank. They don't have a right to be where they are. And of course, at the same time, the base gets hit again. Large group of spitters, they immediately turn around. Oh, sorry, not spitters. Arachnids in general, warriors mostly. So, let's get the engineers some reinforcements. And this really goes to show just how useful those engineers, the radio operators are. There we go, warriors down, but once again the rifle troop has taken a bit of a beating and needs to get resupplied. The snipers are keeping them at bay, that's good. But I'm standing right next to a mining shaft. So it's not just warriors, it's also spitters. Once again, calling in a drop zone. The drop zone is just an ability, which means you don't really have to spend any resources of any kind. Unfortunately, I do lose a sniper team there. It's because I'm kind of stuck between two spawn points. I got the mining shaft to the east and I got the mining shaft to the north, and my troops are just sandwiched between them. So of course they're going to get hit from both sides. And at the same time, the base is still under attack. These rifle troops almost got killed off. The spitters over there actually made it onto the walls. Time to call in some snipers. Those are the snipers that died elsewhere, so I have a few more slots available for more troops. And with those, it's time to get some snipers on the walls. And only now do I see, oh crap, there's a frickin' bug lair over there. I didn't even see that thing, because I was not in line of sight to it. So of course it does what it does best and just spawns in new ones. And they managed to massacre another sniper because I overlook one warrior. And they also kill my combat engineers. So way too late, I recognize that it's time to get new troops involved. And, well, with this little group, it's very difficult to get anywhere. So let's try and push east. Oh, sorry, west. West and north. And hopefully I can get my guys there fast enough to resupply. And mostly reinforce the groups that are currently out there, which is my one troop of rifle troops, and the other one's the engineer, the radio operator has died. And unfortunately, I have too many troops now. And that's because I called in the snipers, which means I cannot call in another radio operator. Not yet, anyway. And this is once again where the mission forces you to make a decision. Do you have your main base less well defended? And do you just push harder over here? Or are you going to make sure your base is defended, but you have troops there which are not doing a whole lot of anything for most of the time? And that are just kind of, well, sitting there. One thing I did not know in this mission is that you can evac troops, you can get them picked up and deploy them elsewhere. I mean, they are the mobile infantry, these assault troopers. They can go anywhere, but I didn't recognize that. So what I'm doing is just walking them everywhere. And once again, spitters, which seemingly have better line of sight than I do. So with my, well, whatever's left of the engineers and the rifle troop, it's time to pull back and hope that the other guys can hold. But since I'm in a bit of a canyon, as opposed to the spitters and the warriors, neither part can do much. So let's pull back a little bit and wait for the other groups to just meet up with them and get some reinforcements in. But without a radio operator, I have to go all the way back to that radio tower in order to get those reinforcements. So as this is happening, I'm considering, okay, I have all these troops here. I have my engineers, I have 2 trooper squads, I have my sniper teams. Could I make a move from here? In fact, I have 2 rifle teams there, 2 rifle troops. Let's call reinforcements. Same for the engineers. And here we go again. We are once again under attack. So at the moment, I cannot really afford to pull these guys out. And again, I'm getting hit from far by the spitters. Those spitters are so annoying. Because anything but snipers, they outrange. So you have to close the distance. But while you're doing that, you're taking a lot of losses. Alright, it seems like their squads have mostly reinforced, except for the engineers, but everybody else seems to be in decent shape. Let's call in some more reinforcements here. The guys over there seem fine, they don't need reinforcements. What I also struggled with in this mission is where to really position your snipers on these walls. Because they are units that benefit from more range, but it's tough to find a decent position for them to go, considering that you don't really want to be firing through your own troops, because you can't in this game. You can fire over your troops, but not through them. And I don't really want to position my guys outside of cover. Now once again, we got spitters on the right, and we get a whole lot of warriors, which I'm trying to kite with the guys here on the right, so that the rifle troops there can hopefully deal with them. There are a lot of them. And it's because there's, in fact, 2 spawn points here. There's the mining shaft, and there's the bug tunnel. And that bug tunnel is directly linked to the mining shaft. So it's a sort of closer range spawn point for them, with a height advantage, which means I'm pushing into high ground, which is an area that I cannot see. And the moment that I move up, I either prompt another spawn, or, well, it feels that way. Once that red bar underneath the bug tunnel fills up, I get another spawn. And it's hard to get line of sight on them. So once again, another group has died. The engineers are no longer here. So, time to sort of consolidate my position-ish. And try to get more rifle troops in. I really wish I kept that radio operator alive. That would have made this mission so much easier. Or at least this part of the mission. The guys over here There is still a radio tower to my northeast relative to the base. So let's see if I can capture that. Considering there's no imminent attack, I can hopefully pull these guys off the line safely. And the other guys also need reinforcements, so let's call them in all the way over there. And then when they have landed, you can order the troop back in. It seems like they're trying to meet halfway, but that's not what I want. Thankfully, sort of, I've lost enough troops to be able to call in another radio operator squad. And that means I have another one of those mobile spawn points. Or reinforced points. So, time to capture this radio station, which of course is not going to go easily. And with that, I think I might have another decent position to defend from, because it's a bit of high ground, and it's a resupply point, or a reinforced point. So the troops over there on the highest ground that I can find. We're going to send the combat engineers to get the supplies, and the sniper teams, well, go back there. Because we have another raid coming at us. And this is when I make a bit of a mistake. Because I split my forces. Once again, it is difficult here to push in without the ability to see where you're pushing into. Of course, there's more spitters there. I finally made it up onto the higher ground. But Archie or the arachnids are not going to make it easy for me to stay there. And this is where it becomes really dicey. Because the spitters also have the high ground. So immediately calling in more reinforcements, trying to keep these rifle troops alive, giving up the higher ground, or at least the level ground again, trying to get more resupplies in, and just trying to get closer to that mining site, that mining shaft, before they're able to spawn yet another wave. But it's basically playing against their spawn timer and hoping that you can get there into that mining shaft before they spawn another wave. So once again, I keep only, what's that, 5 of my rifle troop alive? And then again, another big group of arachnids spawns in, and spitters. And once again, only 2 guys make it out alive. And, to make matters worse, I have my snipers on the front line. Not where you ideally want them to be. Now, keep pushing towards the objective. Unfortunately, it's not clear. And my grenades were still on cooldown. Now they're not, so the grenade lands in the middle of the squad and kills a bunch of warriors. But I'm down to, again, only 4 of my assault troops. And over here, the troops that I had left outside there are dead. Because I wasn't managing them. I didn't pull them back inside the walls, so they immediately proceeded to die. This does, however, free up a few more rifle troops. So I'm going to call in 2 additional units, send them all the way here, and then I hope to finally have enough firepower, because now I'm just barely holding on. But it's not enough. I need more than that. Now, I'm still not quite sure what that flare thing does, but the spitters do seem to take an interest in it, so it seems to be a bit of a distractionary unit. Beyond that, I'm not exactly sure what it does. Another grenade right in the middle of the group. Very quickly wipes out their spawn. And finally, I might just be able, with 4 rifle troops, to start pushing. Those spitters really need to go. And if you look over to the north of the leftmost rifle troop, there is a bug hive up there. Oh, sorry, a bug tunnel. So that bug tunnel is once again linked to the mining shaft and thus spawns in more units. And these guys are just toast. Thankfully I called in resupplies, or reinforcements for them, but I really urgently need those troops in. I need those reinforcements. Okay, they're down to 1 guy. And they just in the nick of time get reinforcements. But they very, very nearly died. The entire troop. This is definitely the most difficulty I've had trying to clear out a bug site. And again, this is a normal difficulty. This is not the greatest difficulty that you can face. Toss a grenade, and of course they spawn again 3 spitters. But now I have 2 more troops that hopefully can just suppress enough, or just blunt force my way towards that mining shaft to finally clear it up. And also deal with the spitters that keep spawning on the higher ground. Reinforce, because they're down to 2. That mining shaft is still not depleted. Pull them back, get the elite guys in, resupply. Radio operators doing great work there. Definitely not frontline units, just very much a support role, but invaluable in their way that they're providing support. And now, it's finally empty. Let's throw a grenade on their spawn and push into that mining shaft. Finally. Like I said, this thing is definitely not a hand-holding operation anymore. Mining shaft empty, that immediately terminates the spawn points that they have, those 2 bug tunnels.
Command appreciates your efforts.
Finally done. So, let's get everybody the reinforcements that they need, and then immediately push east with everybody and clear out that last mining shaft. There's only 1 more to go. The radio operators are alive, the snipers are alive, I have 4 rifle troops. This ought to be enough. Oh, and I can also grab those last supplies. Over here, it seems like the situation is mostly under control, but I can still call in an additional troop, so why not? Okay, there we go. Let's split these guys up. 1 to the north, 1 to the east. Snipers to a better position. To provide as much firepower onto these guys as possible, because they will start getting very annoyed very quickly. Oh, and to make matters worse, they start spawning hopper bugs, which are basically airborne units. Let's call it another resupply point, or drop zone. Dangerous up there, because the snipers are now holding the front line, which, again, they don't do very well. Spitter bugs, and the mining shaft is empty. I can finally get it. This one took me far less difficulty because I had a lot more firepower than I did in the previous iteration with the thing in the northwest. Supplies gathered. And clearing it out. Miners deployed.
The mine is operational. Command appreciates your efforts.
And there's only 1 supply thing that I did not capture yet.
Okay, this mine shaft's clear.
That one. But, already complete the mission. Job done. And that is the last mission that you could play. By this time, the demo is no longer available, but the game is slated to come out sometime in March next year. I hope you guys enjoyed the missions. I'm definitely looking to see what other units they're going to implement. I hope there's going to be more, well, flyboys, as you can see here on the screen, and also some more mechanized stuff. So join me next time, which is going to be March for this game, but of course other videos will come out before then. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more videos.